Well, Miami's just finished, and first of all, I'll speak on behalf of me and Will. Lando Norris, we are sorry for ever doubting you. We did not see this coming. I don't think any of us did.
Well. Actually, notice how it's apologising on behalf of you two and not me. Thank you.
You got a point. You got a point. But yes, Lando Norris has won a Formula One race.
Woo! Up the Woking boys! Up the McLaren!
Did we see that coming at the start of the season? Personally, for me, I don't think so. But anyway, we are back with another episode. Miami Grand Prix weekend finished yesterday. I'm back with Ben and Will. Boys, how we doing?
Oh, I'm so happy. It's such a nice feeling, kind of just remembering what Formula One's about again. Like people just enjoying it and it being something that actually means something to them. Winning a race actually means something. It's not just something that happens every other week. Do you know what I mean? And just seeing the way the whole paddock spread love for Lando and how everyone, even in the media, without saying, "Oh, I'm happy Verstappen didn't win," it was, "This is a new feeling. This is a feeling that reminds me why I work in Formula One or why I love Formula One." I just loved it the best.
I'm not going to talk. I look, 110 races later, finally, 5 years later, 110 races, it's overdue. It was overdue. I've shot myself in the foot. We all knew it was going to happen. As soon as he got into the lead, I was texting the group chat going, I could be cooked here. And I've been served medium rare. And it's, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to say minimal this podcast because anything I say, it just goes right back at me. And yeah, I'm a prat.
Do you know what I'm so excited, though, really, to talk about? Of course, it's something new. We're not just going to sit here and go, and Verstappen won again. So that in itself is really cool. But, oh my word, let's talk about McLaren and upgrades. Because Austria last year, obviously, we've then seen how they've carried that through the end of the whole of the back half of last year and obviously carrying into this year. But they brought like 9 or 10 upgrades to Miami alone, and they've gone and won the Grand Prix. Ferrari are bringing massive upgrades to Imola. Like, I'm not being funny, boys, but have we actually got a championship back on our hands for this year?
No.
I think you're writing it off. I think you're writing it off. Genuinely.
Yeah. The last time Max came P2, he then went on a 12-win streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he came P2 not on merit. Lando won that race on merit. That's the first time we've seen a driver beat Max or the Red Bull on merit since 2022, I would say. Because even last season in Singapore, yes, Sainz did win the race, but was it on merit? I don't think so. We knew how bad the Red Bull was. But this weekend, everyone was saying, oh, Max is dead on to win. Max is going to win. Nothing's going to happen. After that safety car, Lando shot like a bullet.
He did, and he led for 26 laps, which is only 2.5 less than half of the race. So he effectively, realistically led half the race. That's not luck. That's, him pulling away. People have said, oh, Max maybe had a bit of damage from when he went over the curb and hit the bollard, but I'm not buying into it.
That'd be his own fault. You can't like. I hate people who say that because that's his own fault.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So massive shout out to Lando because I think it was brilliant for me as well. Like, obviously I wasn't at Wembley, I only just got back and I was in Woking, obviously watching it in my house. And I don't know, it just felt extra special because when you hear like them talking about Woking on the television, and it's like, I'm literally here right now. Like, they've lit up the main sign outside the MTC, which me and my dad just went and drove by just to go and have a look because, like I said, it's their first win, obviously since Ricciardo in Monza 2021, but first time they've won in America since 2012. So it's a big deal. And winning in America is a big deal. First driver to win in Miami as well outside Verstappen. If you want to keep your US market, you do need races like yesterday. And that's going to go down really, really well, I think, for the people at the top of Formula One when it comes to America.
It also continues the theme that every person who has got pole in Miami has then ended up in second place in the last 3 years as well.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Go on, Will. We're bringing the stats this week.
In the first one, Verstappen got pole and Perez won.
No, Verstappen's never had pole at Miami.
Oh.
It was Perez. It's been Leclerc, Perez, and then
who got... Oh, because it would have been Leclerc on pole and Perez won, and then it was
No.
Leclerc on
Verstappen
pole.
won the first two.
Oh,
Verstappen
well,
won the first two. He's just never had pole.
Hmm.
Don't forget, last year Verstappen won at P9.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Perez must have got pole then.
But I think before we get into any of the racing, I mean, I've got 3 points that I kind of want to bring up with you both. First of which being Nico Hulkenberg's move. So this happened just after we aired our last
There's a lot,
episode.
yeah.
Hulkenberg to stake for next season. Now, I didn't see it coming personally, but I can see why the move has been made.
Yeah.
Who's leaving stake?
Well. So I've told you both before to watch FP1 Will on YouTube. Great YouTube channel, brilliant content, really, really funny. And he made it quite. He noticed something, made it quite interesting to look into. Is that after that announcement was made that Hulkenberg was going to stake for next season, Joe posted a McDonald's advert just 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that tells us all we need to know.
Right, there you go then, yeah.
But I think, to be fair, he's like, I think if I'm correct, that McDonald's is like, he's the face of McDonald's in China or something, which you don't get rid of that. If I'm being honest, you don't throw that away. That is a lot of marketing for your team right there and there alone. So I think people maybe see that as in McDonald's, oh, Joe's off to whatever, maybe the meme is, but actually, if you deep it, that's the whole of China you've got just for you alone. That's quite a lot to throw away.
I mean, we saw the love he was getting, especially last time out in China anyway. Yeah. So it's kind of like, do you get rid of an experienced driver or do you get rid of a whole nation?
Yeah.
Speaking of China, sorry, Will, but speaking of China, because this, I mean, I saw this only this morning, unbelievable. We know the one and only Nico Rosberg was in China. If you've watched his post-race interview with Lando, he talks about his stat of, I think, like 113 or something races without a win, and he basically tells him, he says, Lando, you're going to win next week in Miami. So the Nico Rosberg kind of curse, I think, is over. Or is it continuing that whenever he does something, it happened? I don't know if it's over or if it's continuing.
Lando has had 110, Rosberg had 111, and Button had 113.
Right. Okay. Well, I know the leader of the stat of most without a win is Perez, 190.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then he got his first win at Sakir.
Carlos Sainz was second.
His was 150. So Perez was a whole 40 races ahead.
That's crazy.
Just everything about it though, like Fred Vasseur at the end. Oh my god, Toto Wolff was my favourite TP for a long time. And then it sort of branched out, I think, into James Vowles since he's been at Williams. I just really like his leadership qualities. But I mean, Fred, what a guy Fred is. I reckon he's actually going to get in quite a bit of trouble because he put a McLaren hat on. And even though it's not that big of a deal, in terms of a marketing purpose, I don't think that's going to go down too well for him. But he got involved with the champagne celebrations. He's just the best. And he may or may not be bringing a certain someone into his team for next year. So,
you mentioned that certain someone. You also mentioned James Vowles as well. And obviously there's been a few rumours about who said this person is going to go to. And obviously we're speaking about Adrian Newey here. You've mentioned Fred Vasseur at Ferrari. You've mentioned James Vowles of Williams. And, I mean, he seemed to be looking at the McLaren in a lot of detail on the grid.
See,
who do you think he's going to go to?
I've got an opinion that no one's going to like.
I mean, no one said who it is yet, by the way. Neither of us said who.
I said it was Adrian Newey.
He did, yeah.
So yes, for the listeners, he has left Red Bull.
I need to stop talking. I actually do.
We've been telling you that since the first episode, mate.
I actually just, you know what? Just carry on. I'll say 2 things every 5 minutes. Just carry on.
It came out midway through the week just gone that Adrian Newey is going to be leaving Red Bull at the end of the season. Now, am I right in saying, Ben, that he's only allowed to join a team a quarter of the way through next season?
Yeah, that's true. So, actually, it's really interesting. I was watching Ted, and Ted was saying about there was a clause in his contract that could have stopped him from allowing to join another team until 2027. But for some reason, Christian Horner has just allowed to kind of let that slide almost. His gardening leave is that he will still be working on the RB17 first track car project that's going on. But he can join the team from the first quarter. Now, what the first quarter is, I don't know. Is that between January to April, the first 4 months? Or, I don't really know.
Or is it the first 5 races of the season?
Because if that's
the first 5 races of the season, it'll be this time next year.
Well, that's the thing. So I'm not too sure, but this is my take on it. And this is my take that, of course, I hope doesn't be true. But I think some people out there may agree with me. They just don't want to. I don't think this is Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull to go somewhere else. I think this is Adrian Newey leaving full stop. I was listening to his interviews and he sounds so tired. I just don't think, don't get me wrong, I think he's leaving now because of all the issues going on at Red Bull. I don't think he's just doing it because he's, time's up. He would have seen it to the end of the year or whatever and then gone. So I think that's why he is leaving earlier. But I don't think this is what we want it to be. I think this is it. I'm done. I'm finished. I'd love him to go to Ferrari, but will he really relocate to Maranello? Probably not. Although with the technology these days, you probably don't need to, because all of his drawings and designs can kind of be, sent across in like 4D and all sorts. So I don't know. Like I was listening to Sky F1 and one of the main Ferrari guys at the top of the pyramid for designing the car lives in Thailand. So like he's got nothing to do with it either. But I don't know if I can see it. And also as well, wherever he does go, whether it be Williams, Ferrari, McLaren, whatever it be, he won't be the chief officer. He'll be just a guy that overlooks and gives his opinions. And is that really going to be a role that he can have for who he is? And also, is that going to be a role that allows him to build a car that will go on to do what Red Bull and Williams and McLaren have gone to? So it's good that I think, just to finalise my thoughts on it, I think it's good that he's leaving Red Bull for Red Bull's sake, losing him, but I don't think anyone's gaining him. There you go.
Will?
I don't know. I think if you're a team that takes him on, you surely put him at the top. Like, even if you've got someone who's already designed the car, you go, look at this man's credentials, look at what he's done. You either work alongside him at the top or he's going to replace you, simple as. Just because of who he is. I'd love to see him stay in the sport, and I think if most likely he was going to go somewhere, I think it would be Ferrari. I doubt he'd ever go to Mercedes because of what happened. Mercedes and Red Bull hate each other, and it's weird. Well, it's not weird. It's understandable why, but I think there's just too much hatred between both those teams because of what happened that it would never work.
I don't know, though.
It would be a massive... You know what word I'm going to say in football terms? If he joined them, that would be a complete...
Housery.
Yeah, housery. It would be hilarious in terms of that.
But you say that about the Mercedes Red Bull kind of dynamic. I don't know if I really agree with that anymore because, look at what Mercedes want to do to get Max.
Yeah, but again, I think that's just to go back at Horner. To be fair, I think you take Horner's golden child. That's a theoretical 3-0 realistically.
Yeah.
But I as well, it could just be basically Toto is just absolutely still rattled with what happened 3 years ago, and Red Bull don't care. But I do think that there is that slight bit of element between them that makes me think that Newey will never go there. The McLaren one, maybe, but they're doing well enough that I don't think he'd turn around and go, "Oh, this
Zach
is."
Brown didn't seem to really.
I don't think.
I like my team as it is.
Can I just quickly, before we get onto that, something Zach Brown said that was really interesting. One of the pressers on Thursday is that he said that he's seen a bigger influx of CVs from Red Bull than ever before. because of what's obviously happened at the start of the season,
It's
it
going to have a
could
massive domino effect.
it could
Start the
seem these
downfall.
next few years Red Bull could just implode. If
Probably.
Horner stays, I think Red Bull could implode.
If
Yeah, I
Max leaves at the end of the season, which is looking unlikely, let's not write it off, but it is looking unlikely because he's already come out and said that even a £250 million Euro contract won't tempt him, which is insane to turn down. But I don't know how Red Bull can go on with everything going on in the background, everyone wanting to leave, Adrian Newey now leaving, Horner still at the forefront of it. You know, there's been no clarity over what's been going on. And, I mean, we haven't spoke about the issues going on behind the scenes in, 2 episodes now? 2 and a bit episodes now?
3, I think.
Is it 3? But that's because we don't know. Like, it's still going on, but there's nothing really new. The only new thing about it is Adrian Newey is leaving, and let's be honest, we all know it's because of these reasons. So the weird thing about it is, Ollie, I think you could be on something. I think give it 2-3 years, Red Bull could fully pull from the grid. Just because, not because of funding or because of sponsorships. You know, Red Bull's huge. Been in the sport since, 2005?
No, they're earlier than that because they were the sponsor for Sauber.
They took over Jaguar.
Yeah, they took over Jaguar, but they were also a sponsor of Sauber because it was Red Bull. It was Red Bull and Petronas, wasn't it? They were sponsors of Sauber at the same time,
which is weird.
I believe, which is weird to think because you look at them now. But
but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like they'd ever pull out of it because of funding or sponsorship. It literally, they would just self-implode because of personnel.
I should mention about Hulkenberg though, because you did bring it up, and I was going to say that it didn't surprise me that much actually, because Audi made it clear that they definitely wanted a German driver at the helm, so that makes sense for that reason. He is also really good when it comes to qualifying. He's always in that P10 sort of spot and getting to Q3, and yeah, I'm not too surprised. I did see something funny is that last time Lewis Hamilton moved, Hulkenberg went to Sauber, so it's history repeating itself there.
Regulations changed.
Yeah. So listen, I mean, we've said from the very, very start, and we'll continue to say throughout the very, very end of this year, like next year will be amazing. And it was kind of like we're going to have to just get through this year to next year because everyone's going to be everywhere. This is going to be this is going to be that. But the fact we still had yesterday, I'm so happy about.
The silly season has already started, but it's mainly been.
It started when Lewis went to Ferrari.
Yeah, that is silly. That
kicked off, but it's a bit of a slow burner. I think we all expected a little bit more to happen at this point than what it already has.
Say that, Ollie. We've had rumours of Max leaving,
yeah,
Horner leaving, Newey's now definitely leaving. Lewis is jumping ship. He's had enough of that Merc. Oh my god. Can we talk about Lewis this weekend just not caring at all? Like
we'll get Yeah.
But he's been brilliant.
We'll go on to that at some point.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, right? People just come out and go, yeah, but it was sick for whatever. But like some of the moves he was making were unbelievable. Some of the racing that he had. And I think, like I said before, he probably can just enjoy it now. He doesn't care. You know, he said this weekend, I've loved this weekend from a racing point of view. It's just been really fun.
Press conferences are hilarious with him because he just doesn't care.
Yeah, I know.
One thing with Lewis leaving his seat, and obviously we were speaking about Adrian Newey, and I think that the most likely place for him to go, and it might be really difficult because of financial reasons, but I think he could go back to Williams because he's obviously that's where he started. He has history there. James Vowles obviously really wants to get him in, which is no surprise. I think everyone does. But he could have the opportunity to work with Kimi Antonelli. Another rumour that was going on throughout the paddock last week. And allegedly, Mercedes and Williams, I think it's Mercedes and Williams, have both applied for the law around the age having to be 18 to race in F1 being taken off because obviously Max raced when he was 17. So I think Mercedes are trying to say, look, Red Bull done this with Max in 2016 and Toro Rosso done it with Max in 2015. So why can't we do it with Antonelli now? Because obviously Logan Sargent's not doing great once again, and we'll get onto that later as well. So they're looking to bring in Antonelli, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it is, but there were rumours that Logan Sargent was going to be out of the seat before Imola. But then Jenson Button, who obviously, I always forget what his role is, but he has got he is with Williams somewhere. I don't know what the role is, but he is there. He said, no, I don't think that will happen. I can't see James Vowles kicking anyone out throughout a season, which is good because, I mean, I always feel bad still for someone like Nick De Vries. I think it was very unfairly treated, but honestly, I mean, we don't know what goes on the inside. I really don't know what Logan Sargent brings to Williams. I genuinely don't. And maybe apart from a sponsor side of thing when it comes to American races and that, and obviously Miami being an actual home Grand Prix, unless he's a wizard technically when it comes to discussing data, I swear I don't know what this guy brings. I really don't.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there with the fact that he's bringing in an American audience, but even still, he doesn't. Like, Americans don't really seem to be that fussed about him. Like, even though it's his home race, they didn't seem to be like with Guan Yu Zhou in China.
No,
they kind of seem to be like, they seem to be more focused on Lewis, if anything.
Yeah, everyone loves Lewis, didn't they? Everyone's like, Camilla Cabello was literally with Ferrari, and she's like, I'm here to support Lewis Hamilton. Like,
she wants a bit of a Hamilton, don't she? Poor Christ alive! Absolutely wants hammer time. I'll tell you that now. Jesus.
Yeah, but have you not
wanted it? You see when they show Lewis on screen, she's basically drooling at the mouth. I was like, come on, give it a wrestler.
Wow. Thank God we're not in the media just yet.
Hammer time.
No, what I was going to say though, did you see that she recreated the Leclerc meme? That's hilarious.
Have you seen that Leclerc actually said to her in the garage? Oh yeah, I actually saw your TikTok. It's actually really good.
Oh no way, did he?
Yeah,
didn't see that. That's funny.
But I think getting into the racing, because I think that's all we really need to speak about off track, is the Antonelli, Newey, and Hulkenberg shenanigans, all of that.
Well, I mean, I did that thing leading up to Grand Prix. I'm trying to remember all the stuff I had in there now. Obviously, Gunther Steiner's suing Haas, but I don't really think that's something we need to talk about, if I'm being honest. Obviously, the Ferrari livery didn't really live up to expectation.
Suing Haas? I didn't even know that. Why is he suing Haas?
Well, you have to check the TikTok, Will.
Did you not watch TikTok?
Yeah, this is what I mean, Will. You don't like any of the stuff.
Unbelievable.
That's so poor, isn't it, Ollie? We need to get on his back a bit more.
Why is he suing Haas?
Yeah, he's suing them for, isn't it? His wages or something like that?
All the unpaid wages?
No, not unpaid wage, but something to do with he did more and got less or something. Like, he didn't like the fact that he was doing a lot more marketing. He had to do, I don't know, something like that.
That was it. He was doing marketing that something like he didn't agree to doing marketing bits, but they made him do it anyway, or something like that. Or they used photos and videos of him when he didn't.
It's basically, I like Gunther a lot, and I'm glad to see that he's kind of gone into the media side of things. But it's basically him being bitter because he's left and they're doing better without him, and he's gone, well, actually, I didn't like that you did this when I was there. When he was there, I imagine he didn't really care. So that's probably what it is. The Ferrari livery didn't live up to the anticipation at all. If anything, the V-carb was 10 times better.
No.
Yeah.
It
was. You just don't want to admit it because you don't like Danny Rick. Which, by the way, shout out to MP4 in the sprint qualifying. And where did he come in the sprint race? Was it P4?
No, he came P3 in the qualifying, then P4 and...
No. It was P3 in qualifying, Ollie.
It was P4 and P4.
It was P4. Yes. I don't know if it was P4 and 4 or P4 and then P5.
Hold on.
I think he held on to P4.
No, you see,
this is the issue with me not making notes anymore. I always used to make notes because I'd be the guy as the guy hosting, and now I don't host. I'm like
P4.
V-carb as a whole, I quite like because I like Yuki Tsunoda. I don't like the PR merchant. Because his race on Sunday was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
P15, 50 seconds.
Well, to be fair, no one's talked about So, like I saw this on Twitter. Someone said no one talked, even though Danny Rick got P4 in the sprint race. Tsunoda moved up 9 places, I think it was, but no one talked about it.
Yeah, it wasn't even mentioned much on the commentary either. It was just kind of like,
but
and
I'm not
Tsunoda's
being
there
funny.
as well.
I'm not being funny. It would have got a lot more mention if we didn't have a brand new race winner. Let's be honest. That's all we cared about. Like, of course, there's more to the story. Like, if you want to say about Tsunoda, I haven't seen anyone mention Ocon getting a point. That's big for Alpine.
Wow.
But everyone cares about Norris getting his first win, which I think is rightly so, because I reckon even if we had a different winner that wasn't Verstappen, but it was like Perez or Leclerc or Sainz, I reckon it obviously would have still been big, but you would have filtered into your Tsunodas of the world. It's the fact it's a brand new winner, and it's Lando, who we've known it would. Well, you two didn't, but we all knew it would happen at some point.
Oh, I tell you what, though, and this does trigger me. The fangirls. Oh my god. The fangirls who don't even know what DRS stands for and what the different tyre compounds mean, all of a sudden adore F1 just because Lando's won. And it actually annoyed me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nah, Ben, scrolling through people's stories yesterday and everyone, and you got people who I've never even seen, who you ask them, all right, name the 20 drivers on the grid, and they name 4.
You're living up to the male stereotype. It's like the traditional.
No.
You like football? Oh, tell me the starting 11 from the 1966 World Cup final.
It's not that. It's not that at all. It's not that at all. Because I know I've got friends who are females that absolutely adore F1. Like, probably know more than me, like, about F1 sometimes.
Well, that's not hard.
But But it's the fangirls who all of a sudden care. I was like, because you see, they all post it. Did any of them watch the race? Probably not. No,
I do. I do know what you're.
Let's celebrate.
I do know what you're trying to say. I mean, I kind of agree and disagree. I disagree because, like, if anyone wants to get into F1, just get into it. Like, you don't. There doesn't need to be a route in. But also, I do agree. I do hate the people that get like. Who get to go to the races and get like the top hospitality and like get to live our dreams just for them to be like, I have no idea what's going on.
They are the people who are like that. They are the fangirls.
You say that. Can we just quickly? So we spoke about Camilla Cabello. She actually seemed to. Yeah. She really wanted to get involved.
She came across really well.
I mean, she did come across really well. Don't get me wrong. I think Martin said when they were speaking on the grid walk, which was, by the way, I've got to say this, quite an underwhelming Martin's grid walk. I think for Miami, for what it is and who's there, he didn't really speak to any big names.
One thing I liked, though, with Natalie Pinkham is if you have been on her Instagram stories, because you were talking about like TED and Sky presenters, is that Donald Trump was walking past her at one point when she was in the pit lane, and she just had her mic held down, not even interested. And then she put on an Instagram story, noticed my mic position, because she was like, I didn't want to go and speak to Donald Trump. So there were like big named people there. You are right that the grid walk, maybe because we didn't have a DJ Khaled moment, like we have had before.
Yeah, but I think that made Miami more serious this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Gives it a bit more appreciation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as much as the interview with Camilla Cabello was nice, and she seemed like she really wanted to get involved in F1, and maybe she does watch it quite a lot, which if she does, that's brilliant. That's what we want to see. We want to see big stars who actually watch the sport on the grid.
Oh, yeah. Who was the ginger?
Martin. Charlotte Tilbury.
Charlotte Tilbury. Mate, she knew so much.
No, the reason why, I told you this the other day, is that she has a race team in the F1 Academy series.
Yes, she does.
Which, by the way, was actually really entertaining. If you didn't, it was actually quite.
It's my favourite driver.
Abby Pulling just wiping the floor with everyone.
Yeah.
So a young Brit doing well.
It's good. And the British National Anthem was played 3 times this weekend.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah,
Twice for Pulling, once for Norris. Which is good to hear.
Yeah, going back to the Camilla Cabello, I keep going off the Camilla Cabello thing.
It's the name, isn't it? Camilla.
Yeah, but as much as I think it's good that she was there, and she obviously seems like she loves F1. when Martin was speaking to her, she did say, "Oh, I've got a new album coming out." So it did feel a bit like. Did she not?
He said, "You've got a new album coming out,"
and
she went, "Oh yes, I do. Thank you."
Yeah, but she didn't actually go into it.
It's him being told in his ear that he is.
Yeah.
But what we like to bust like that, Ollie.
Yeah, just in case Camilla's watching this, we don't support Ollie. But no,
right, let's get on to the racing.
They said that, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I do," and then just carried on talking about F1. It was like, all right, fair enough. I like it. I like it.
I had a lot of time for it.
One thing is, well, actually, I'm moving on to the race weekend, and we mentioned Haas earlier. Can we talk about Kevin Magnussen's obsession with collecting 10-second penalties like they're Infinity Stones?
Honestly,
incredible.
I'm going to jump the gun here. Really bold shout. Kevin Magnussen, my driver of the weekend.
Whoa! Whoa!
No.
Get on his case, TikTok. Get on his case.
Right, hear me out here. Right, hear me out. Without Kevin, no, don't get me wrong. He had an awful weekend. He done nothing good. But he provided the most entertainment for entertainment purposes. He is my driver of the weekend. He created all the entertainment.
Yes, but when I said this a couple of weeks back, I actually meant it. There's no way you mean it. Like the guy's now on 10 penalty points, 2 more, and he's going to get a race ban. He picked up, how many penalties did he pick up this week? It was 3-1 in the sprint race. He then got 1 in qualifying as well. I think he got another 2 in the race. It's like 5 penalties this weekend.
It was like 40 seconds worth of penalties and a grid place penalty as well.
Magnussen this weekend was Grosjean and Maldonado if they had a baby.
Yeah, entertainment. We've been dying to have some entertainment. Magnussen brought the entertainment this weekend.
I do agree. And also, as well, I've got so much respect to his press conference after, where he goes, "They're all penalties," and Hamilton then comes in straight after, like, respect, like, fair play, I respect it. If anything, that got him into even more trouble because it's deemed as though he was basically fixing, in a way, which obviously isn't good.
To be fair, I don't know why he turned around and said that. He's kind of threw himself under the bus in a way.
He did a little bit, but
sorry,
you can't be driver of the week. You can't be driver of the week. No, you can't.
Driver of the week for like doing everything you're not supposed to do in the pinnacle of motorsport.
Did he give us entertaining racing?
Did he nearly kill half the grid? Yes.
No, he didn't. He didn't nearly kill it. No.
Ollie, if he'd have put Hamilton in the wall and you said that, Ben would be at your throat right now with a mallet.
True. Banging on your door.
Right, this is why
you're not even there in Coleman. I'd still be banging on your door.
This is why hindsight's a wonderful thing. You said if he didn't. Lewis and Magnussen were having some great racing. It was so good to see them side by side in every corner.
Racing? Ollie, it was like an F1 24 open lobby. It was awful. No.
I thought he was a Reaver.
It's the pinnacle of motorsport, and people are and he's driving off the track.
Right, fine. If you want to see more racing like this, come to my side and watch IndyCar, which is a far better series this year.
My side? Oh, yeah. Ollie's gatekeeping IndyCar. Ollie's gatekeeping other Formula Series.
I'm trying to promote it. I don't care.
Yeah, I love IndyCar. I watch IndyCar.
It's brilliant. It's better than F1 this year.
Yeah. But yesterday tops anything. It's just, I loved it. It was so refreshing to see. It was good to see. Just better. If we're going driver of the weeks this early, I'm giving you mine, and of course it is Lando Norris because.
Oh well, I've got to go different then. Isn't
if it wasn't for him, he struggled to heat up the soft tyres. He set an incredible lap on the mediums during the sprint quali SQ2, and obviously he's gone on and won the race. And I don't think you can give it to anyone else really. I mean, obviously the bias again coming in with Hamilton. I think he did brilliant. So many great overtakes this weekend, but 6th really, it's not enough for him to be getting that. But for Norris, yeah, bang, amazing.
Oh well, I'm gonna go with
Lance Stroll.
No, I'm gonna go with Yuki Tsunoda. I just think that he done really well, and like Ollie mentioned earlier, it wasn't talked about enough.
Can you tell me where he finished in the race?
Tsunoda?
Yeah.
P7.
Yeah. Okay, well done, Will. I was trying to catch you out there. Well done.
At least I watched it.
Can we?
Okay, well, let me address that. This was the first race in 6 years that I had missed from the start, but I did tune in from the safety car. So.
So you tuned in when it got exciting, did you?
Glory Hunter.
And shout out Chris Medland for keeping me up to date, because that guy's Twitter feed is incredible. And shout out FIA
really good.
girly Demi, because she kept me up to date of everything. And shout out Sky Sports F1 for actually being able to post the race mid-race, because again that caught me up. So actually, by the time the safety car had finished, which was only like 4 laps or 3 laps, I already knew everything that happened anyway. So there we go.
But can we just? So I don't know if you two.
One was crazy.
I don't think you two. You probably have mentioned it probably just as much as me, but I've always said that the thing that's annoyed me most about Max's dominance is that when he wins over the radio and when he gets out of his car, he doesn't celebrate enough.
Absolutely.
Lando Norris, oh my God, when he was screaming down the radio, when he dropped his helmet and dive bombed into his team and body surfed on top of his team, it was phenomenal. That's what we want in F1.
It is though, isn't it?
And the thing is,
so one of my favourite celebrations of all time was when Hamilton won at Saudi Arabia 2021. It was just incredible. But that from Lando yesterday was amazing. Just literally dive bomb straight over the fences, straight into his team. I'm surprised he had the ability to actually jump in his legs, by the way. Like, imagine if he'd gone to jump and his feet had just planted and he went straight into the fence. Thankfully, that didn't happen. He's straight over. Amazing. Bearing in mind as well, after the sprint race where he was out on the first lap, he got a $50,000 or euro fine, 20 of that suspended until the end of the year. So he's probably thinking, even if it's not coming out of his pocket, come on, we're not extracting the most out of this car.
The walking over the circuit where no cars were at the time.
But Lewis got the same one a couple.
The rules are supposed to go to a marshal post, but it doesn't really make sense because the pit lane is right there.
Yeah, surely the closest marshal post is the pit lane. Is it not?
It's right. It was right behind him, but it was on the other side of that massive.
But surely that means he has to then go to the marshal post, get a lift around the whole track, just to come back to where he was right next to.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you want me to give you some Lando Norris stats? Can I come in with my stats?
Go for it.
Oh yeah, stat time.
Thank you, Will. Thank you. So Norris is the 21st British driver to win a World Championship Grand Prix and the 114th in total. It was obviously his 110th start, as we've brought up, for McLaren, which coincidentally, by the way, ties him with Lewis Hamilton's total with the team from 2007 to 2012.
And he won on it as well, which is...
He did, exactly.
You mentioned that as well, which is...
He's the first driver to take a maiden win in the United States as well since Alboreto at Caesars Palace in 1982, which obviously was the only time before they'd been to Vegas, but it was the Caesars Palace car park.
Awful circuit, by the way. If you haven't watched any videos of it and heard about it before, I advise you to, because it is ridiculous how bad that circuit was.
Yep.
Starting out in the car.
It was bad, you are right. Norris finished 17th at the Miami Grand Prix last year, a whole minute and 27 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So that's incredible. Now, quiz time. Can anybody tell me the last time the British National Anthem was heard on the podium?
George Russell, 2022, Brazil.
Fantastic. 1 point for Ollie. There you go. Yeah, obviously McLaren's only second Grand Prix win in the last 12 years, which we said, because Monza. And thanks to McLaren, a Mercedes customer team wins this season before the Mercedes manufacturer team. So that, I've seen so many memes of like Toto Wolff walking off and it's like Toto Wolff passing for his engine back.
Have you know what's crazy though? You spoke about the upgrades that McLaren have brought in, and you know we said before about how Mercedes are bringing in an upgrade. Mercedes are bringing upgrades this weekend. Are they literally changing the paintwork? Because why is it they can bring in 5-6 upgrades and still have a silver and black taxi cab, and then one weekend they've got a London bus as well? But McLaren bring one in and go from a Honda Jazz to a LaFerrari. It doesn't make sense to me.
I do agree with that, but I do agree with that.
But
I do agree. But this is why you can't. This is why you can't batter an eyelid when it comes to the main core of teams in Formula One. Don't get me wrong, Mercedes and Red Bull have brought dominance to the sport. But that core of McLaren, Ferrari, Williams, right, you can't beat it. I mean, McLaren, they've now won IndyCar, Formula E, and Formula One all in the past 2 months. That is a racing team. That is a core racing team.
They have the chance as well to win the GT3 category at Le Mans as well. Which is
talking of Le Mans, just before we came on the pod, I sent it to the group chat.
Yeah.
2022 Formula 2 world champion Felipe Drugovich is also going to be driving there, which me and William are going to be going to. So maybe we'll have to produce some content while we're out there, Will.
He's in LMP2.
Yeah, good luck getting Will to do that.
He's in LMP2.
Just one TikTok a month.
One TikTok wonder, though.
Yeah,
true.
To be fair, this is a bit of an excuse. I may have the chance to meet Eduardo Freitas as well.
Who is? Didn't you mention him last year?
Yes. And I had the pleasure last year of meeting John Eindhoff as well, head of radio, main voice of Radio Le Mans, and a team there as well. So hopefully, if I can grab anything from them again this year, I will try to. But it will be really good. And if I can actually meet Eduardo, tick that bucket list, baby. Tick that bucket list. But yeah, no, it will be quite good. And we will try and create stuff out there. But next year, it's actually on the same weekend as Monza, I think.
Ooh.
Which will be interesting.
It's just over a month until I go now anyway. So.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Because I go
I would imagine it's the same if you're both going.
Well, no, yeah, but we might be going out at different days before.
So I'm going on Wednesday the 6th.
Oh, see, I'm going on the 13th. So I'm going just before. Like, literally just before.
Oh, yeah, you'll go. Oh, wait, then.
Wait,
no.
what? No, if he's going on the 6th and you're going on the 13th, how are you going before?
As in, I'm going just before.
Before the race weekend. The race weekend is.
So why are you going so early, Will?
I don't know. Maybe I've got my dates wrong then. Oh, no. I'm going on Wednesday the 15th.
Oh, so you're going later than I am.
When do you go? Yeah, you go 6th. Oh, 13th.
Will, do you want the opportunity to try and earn back a point here?
Yes, go on.
So, McLaren have now equalled Ferrari's record for most wins in the US. What number do you think that is? Will, you get to go first?
McLaren have equalled Ferrari's record for most wins in the US.
Yeah. How many do you think that would be?
4.
Ollie?
Will lowballed it.
But...
oh yeah, I suppose you can't say. I don't know.
Quite a way off, by any chance.
Is it 1?
No. Formula One's been a thing since 1950. Don't forget.
Yeah, but
I don't know when the first US Grand Prix would have been.
That much though, have they?
Yeah, I don't know when the first one would have been.
In 2012, they bought Cota back, and actually,
Yeah.
they through for.
Well, we just mentioned 82 Caesar Palace. But...
Oh, let's go with. I'll go on. Will you change yours first, and I'll change mine.
12.
I'm 9.
13.
Ooh,
but the fact you said 4 is diabolical behaviour.
I don't know how many times I would have raced in, because, like we said, Caesar Palace was awful, so they took that off. And
they had Detroit, which I raced in, which is also awful.
Yeah. Have you seen that practice session, by the way, of Detroit? The one that always goes viral on like Instagram. Like, it's unbelievable. I don't know who was driving the car.
They were still building the circuit around the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I think because that was a Senna raced at that, and I think he said it's the worst racetrack I've ever been on, even though he won it. Shout
out him, by the way. I cannot wait to watch this Netflix thing. Oh my God.
I don't think it'd be that good.
I think because hear us out. We had this discussion the other day. I think because the film is so good, I think the documentary might be a bit underwhelming.
Netflix don't normally miss; they always hit. To be fair.
Talking of more things coming to Netflix, Formula One Academy next year series on Netflix.
Oh my God! Shout out Susie Wolf. Please go on, Ollie, because I'm going to read you what Susie Wolf said. She's cold. Genuinely, she's cold.
But yeah, F1 Academy actually quite interesting this weekend. I mean, you got some good drivers in that.
Yeah, Bustamante, as I've said, she's my favourite.
But what? 'Cause she's McLaren.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
But no, I think next year could actually...
from Woking.
It's funny you say that. Actually, I don't know if I've ever told you.
Ben, did you play at a charity football event this week?
Charity, I'll have you know, it was a Legends game, which I have no idea how I swindled my way. But yes, I did play. You're right, and I did play with my heroes growing up, and I did assist my hero growing up. So
how did you swindle your way into that? You'd literally done the linesman for the women's game, and you managed to get called into the...
I'm telling you,
I don't even know. Seriously. I don't even know. I already said if I scored, I was pulling the robot out, but I couldn't believe it. I got told, like, on the Thursday, oh, by the way, there's a spot for you on the bench. You can get, like, 20 minutes at the end. I'll take a minute. Like, oh, my God, to play with my heroes. I played against Matt Jarvis, an ex-England international, by the way. I know this is a Formula 1 podcast. I'm so sorry for derailing, but it was the greatest day of my life. And, as well, Martin Tyler was the gaffer. So,
did you get an assist?
I did get an assist as well.
He has the same goal assist this season as Anthony, ladies and gentlemen. Let that sink in.
What can I say? The guy who hasn't even tied his laces in 3 years. What can I say? Unbelievable.
It's world class. It's world class.
But please let me read you this Susie Wolf quote. So they announced
back on track.
Yeah. Well, hey, back on track.
They announced that they're going to have their Netflix series, and I mean, this is brilliant. I love Susie Wolf. That they made the right appointment, putting her in control of F1 Academy. By the way, I couldn't have made a better appointment. She goes, this is huge. They said try and get some screen time on Drive to Survive. We said we'll have our own series. That's fire. That's amazing. I just think shout out her. She reminds me a bit of James Vowles in the sense of it's someone you'd want to work for. You want to work for someone like that. You don't listen to what they have to say and kind of mimic or laugh and go, oh, they take their job so seriously. Like, you actually think, I'm going to get behind this. Like, they want the best of me, so let me kind of back them publicly. Like, they're brilliant. She's brilliant. Yeah, amazing.
I'll tell you what could be quite an interesting thing for us lot to do. And I mean, obviously, this is just a proposal for something that could happen. But obviously, my girlfriend Finny interviewed one of the drivers in the series, Jess Edgar, only a few weeks ago. So if we could get her on the pod, that could be a really interesting little chat.
That'd be amazing. But also, that is amazing from Finny. Does that have any correlation to do with the other one?
Yeah. So Finny's also interviewed Will Buxton. So
I mean, that's
one of, if not the, one of the biggest F1 journalists in
the game and everything.
And Laura Winters liked one of our tweets. So
she did.
We have some vague connections. We're slowly getting there.
We're also massive on TikTok as well.
It will take time. It will take time because, funnily enough, Twitter is my favourite part of the platform, and it's the one that unfortunately, I am going to have to say we suck at the most at the minute because there's no engagement. I don't really know how we're going to push that, but we're going to keep trying. We're not going to give up. That's the main thing. But yeah, the TikTok is definitely where we're doing the best.
I really enjoy the TikToks, to be honest. I really enjoy doing TikTok. But yeah, I mean, I can't really say much when this man over here is taking things away with his beard.
Let me pull up the stats.
What can I say?
Let me pull up the stats, right? These are the stat analytics.
We've done 52 videos since we started at the start of this season, right? We've done 52. 16 of those are podcast clips, so they don't account for anyone. They're just podcast clips. 18 of those go to Olly King, and fair play to Olly King, and that is because obviously he does a lot of the F2 as well, but fair play to him. And 12 of those go to me. 6!
You've done a third one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 go to Will.
Hold on.
And here comes incoming. Yes.
Let's read out who has the most likes and views and comments on a video.
Yeah, you do. Fine.
And the video that I've ended up pinning.
How many likes? How many views? 7.4?
Yeah, 7.3 or 4. Yeah, and like 1.3.
How many likes? 1.2.
Yeah, but
to be fair,
I've still got the most on Instagram. So what's your point? I don't see.
Maybe some people don't like me because I'm too good. You know.
To be fair, I think we've just got to say, I think to anyone that is listening that has engaged with us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, at the Trackside Podcast on all social platforms, I'd just like to say to everyone a huge thank you. I mean, the fact that we've got
Oh, he's getting
So would
emotional.
I.
isn't
My ego's through the roof. Thank
fact-
you.
the fact that we've got 162 followers on TikTok with 5,294 likes across all of our videos. Bearing in mind, we only started this in February, is phenomenal. So thank you to anyone that's listening that interacts with our TikToks.
But
or
boys, I'm sure
Reels.
you'll agree with me. I'm sure you agree with me on this. We see that as like brilliant, but if anything, it makes us want to do even better. Doesn't want us to stop or anything. Like we want to keep on going.
I'll tell you what, Ben.
We need to get better. We definitely need to get better at scheduling who's doing like post race like videos. Though I think.
I can't lie. Last night I just fell asleep.
Well, I was waiting.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah.
Gonna waste his
you
tribute,
can add another one of those videos on my thing soon to 7 because I'm telling you now, cooking something up. Don't you worry about it. Don't
Such
you
a
worry
weird
about
feeling
it.
wanting someone to flop when you're on the same team as them. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Ben, why are you complaining? The beard is going to carry us to greatness. The beard is going to get us to that point.
Oh, Ollie,
I've said it so many times before. That beard is the F1. No, that video the other week.
I'm trying to make my way in. I'm trying to.
Do you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? My mate Jackie, I know my mate Jack is listening to this right now, and even he wants to strangle me through the phone right now because he knows what this does to me.
My mate,
you know what this does to me.
My
100%.
mate, right, who's out in America on a golf scholarship, messaged me last night going, "Whoever on the pod said he'd never wins knows nothing."
Right, hold on. Right, I'm not having that.
I had one of my mates message me as well. My mate Jared messaged me saying, "Oh yeah, you lot said no. You lot said that Norris wouldn't win a race. How's that looking?" I was like, "Yeah." You know
the amount of people who messaged me at exactly the time when Lando crossed the finish line. I was like, "Hold on, everyone! Didn't realise I was a celebrity."
You know one thing that
if you wait until Lewis Hamilton wins a race, oh my god, you are both done for.
No, just you wait until Charles Leclerc wins a world championship. I might as well just retire.
Ben added my personal account. He added my personal account. He didn't even just put my name on the trackside one. He added my personal account to let everyone know it was me.
Oh, that was my favourite meme though. Oh, brilliant. Boys, I've got more stats for you. I've got them all.
Go for it.
He's got more.
Verstappen is now finished exactly second. Butchered that.
Right, hold on. Reload it.
Reload. Verstappen has now finished second exactly half as many times as he's finished first in a Grand Prix. 29 to 58.
Wow.
You were both in sync there with your eyebrows.
Can we just say as well, Max actually looked happier for Norris winning than Max does himself when he wins.
Yeah, I know. Did you see what he said in the press as well?
Yeah.
Oh, did you see it, Will?
You know what? That press conference.
What when he was like, if my mum had balls, she'd be my dad or something like that. Yeah. I rate the effort slightly off.
Did you see the thing that he said about the bollard as well, which he hit, which brought out the VSC?
Oh,
he said, "Oh yeah, I had enough of it. I was testing the durability of the car."
Yeah. He also said when he got pole in sprint qualifying, he also went lol.
Yeah.
Lol. Yeah.
But you know what? I can't believe Norris won. It's just
Ollie, you need to start showing Leclerc some more respect. He still hasn't finished outside the top four in any sprint or Grand Prix this year.
Has he won?
But listen, mate.
That's what we're doing. We're just predicting random drivers' downfall every week and just. Is this genuinely what we're that desperate for content, people? We are throwing each other under the bus. That's what we're doing. I'll tell you what, actually, and I did say it before we started, I would like to say, I will hold my hands up and take the blame, and you can clip this because I know you're going to. I will hold my hands up and take the blame on the Lando Norris shout. Look, I didn't know he had that dog in him, fair enough. But when I said he cannot handle the pressure, and that's why most of his podiums come from being outside the top five, where did he start? He started 6th. I think. 5th or 6th?
5th.
No, 6th, because Perez was 5th.
Yeah, well, can we talk about that after this?
Yeah. So we'll get
Well,
to
I got two more.
he started 6th and won because he didn't have the pressure. Then, when he did have the pressure of that restart, we all saw he nearly bottled that restart because he went at the wrong time because he's not experienced at using a restart. Now, like I said, after that, he bolted, and I will hold my hands up and say, okay, he handled it like he'd won 10 to 15 races. But that safety car restart nearly caught him out because he is inexperienced about being at the front. So that's all. I will say I'm right on that part. That is the only thing.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with you.
No. Anyway.
Yeah. But to be fair, I can't disagree with you, but literally after the first lap, he'd already gone.
Yeah, no, that's my point. After that, he completely bottled. But I do think personally, I am right about him being inexperienced in those positions, and that's what costs him. Because he done really well to defend Max into turn 1, but he did nearly bottle it because he didn't go at the right time. Because they even said it on commentary. He should have gone before turn 17 or right before the line. Because going out of the corner at 17 was the worst thing he could have done because you got that massive long straight, well, semi-straight, all the way down into turn 1 with a Red Bull that is ridiculous in the slipstream. And you kind of just think, what were you thinking? Because that's just suicide. But listen, he watched the video and was like, oh, I'm proving this kid wrong, 100%. So, fair play. I hold my hands up.
Cool story, bro.
Oh, Ben, mate, Hamilton's never winning again. All right? he's never winning again.
Listen, I got two more stats, and then I'm done with my stats, right? So this one's for Olly, actually.
I got one for you as well after.
Thanks to Esteban Ocon's P10 result, Alpine scored their first points in 2024, the longest they've gone into a season before doing so since 1985. What were they called back then? What was the team called in 85? I think you're going to get it, you know.
What's it begin with?
Well, it wasn't Renault, was it?
No.
What's it begin with?
No, give it away.
It's before Renault.
You will get it, Ollie. 1985.
Lotus?
You've said them before. Not today, but as in the past. You've
you've said a lot before.
Oh, so close. Tolman.
Oh,
so I could have said T, to be fair.
I wouldn't have got that. But
now, this is the maddest stat of the entire weekend. Are you ready for it?
Go on.
I've saved it till last. At Haas, Nico Hülkenberg was 11th and came within 1.043 seconds of scoring in both the sprint and the Grand Prix this weekend.
Wow.
The exact time behind P10.
What, for both races?
So he came 1.043 seconds behind P10 twice this weekend.
That's impressive.
That's a mental stat.
That's weird.
Yeah. Mental stat. I'm not sure if it's impressive or not. But
that's not points, though, in the sprint race.
No.
Oh, no, sorry, of course. No, it's not. But in terms of being behind P10, yeah.
What do we... Actually, I'll go on to the whole points thing after this. Did you see as well that this is where you give Leclerc more benefit of the doubt here, Ollie? Leclerc said his hydration bottle stopped working after the formation lap. He raced around in 30-degree heat. That's just the temperature there. God knows what that would have been for him without any water for 57 laps, which is incredible. Like, so you do wonder sometimes, like, how incredibly fit these athletes actually are. And you have to call them athletes if they're doing stuff like that. It is so impressive.
They are athletes, yeah.
Yeah, but I hate it when people are like, "Oh, they're just driving a car around."
No, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
There's a lot more behind it because you kind of just want to turn around and say, "Go on, then, go do it."
But the fact that we can now say 3 constructors have won a race this year actually means a lot. You know what I mean? But the fact Perez hasn't won a race yet, it's not good for him, I don't think.
No. But to be fair, I think yesterday it could have been a double McLaren podium.
Piastri, yeah.
If Sainz wasn't being petulant, then I think it could have been because the only reason I think they had that crash is because Sainz threw his toys out the pram when Piastri didn't get a penalty for fair racing in a way. Like we've seen worse, but like now the stewards are kind of like you never know which way they're going to go with incidents like that. That was the one going into turn. I don't know what turn it is, but one of the after the really long bendy straight. But then when he sent that dive bomb up the inside of Piastri, one, he went way too late. Two, he just decided not to turn halfway through. I mean, he did lock up, but he just decided not to turn. And it's like, why are you sending that move? The only reason you send that move down the inside there is because you've thrown your toys out the pram and you're in a strop. And it ruined Piastri's race because I think Piastri genuinely could have got a podium. I think it could have been.
Lap, obviously, outside the top 10 doesn't count.
I think it could have been Norris, Verstappen, Piastri. I think that's what it should have been as well.
Yeah, probably. I tell you what, though, you mentioned Perez there about him not winning and making it bad for himself. Could have got a lot worse into that first corner, couldn't it?
He tried to take a note out of Valtteri Bottas's bowling notebook.
Yeah, really, really bad. Like,
that's the thing. I keep watching the replays. So obviously he started fifth. Was it he started?
Yeah.
He started fifth for anyone that hasn't watched it. He started fifth and looked up badly going into turn one. Almost took out his teammate, and I'm still convinced he clipped Max a tiny bit.
Clips him, yeah. I think he clips his rear left, like the tiniest amount. Like,
yeah, it's literally like one hair.
Did you see Max's reaction though in the post race?
He just laughed about it, didn't he?
Yeah, he was shocked. He had no idea. He had genuinely no idea. He watched the replay and he goes, "That was close," but he was so shocked by how close it actually was.
Boys, am I being a little bit silly here? Lance Stroll got a 10-second time penalty for a battle with Albon.
Yeah, he went off the track, stayed off the track, didn't give the position back because he claimed he got forced off.
Right, okay. That's why then.
Oh, you've mentioned Albon there. Let's talk about his teammate, Logan Sargent.
Yeah.
What do you make of that incident? Because my view of it...
I don't think it's his fault.
I think it's a racing incident because I think Magnussen shouldn't have kept closing.
No.
But then Sargent shouldn't have closed the door on him.
No, that's Magnussen for me 100%, I'm afraid.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Honesty
is the best policy.
You don't really overtake there. We hadn't seen any overtaking there. So put your nose on the inside, knowing that the corner goes left and then cuts over right while it's flat out as well. You don't do that. It's shocking.
What did you think of the Ocon Gasly wheel to wheel at the start of the race?
I loved it. The French Civil War is brewing, I'm telling you.
I honestly thought they were going to both end up in a wall. It would have been hilarious.
Knowing what the two of them are like, you can never write it off.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You can't.
It would have been really funny. Also, another funny part of the weekend, Burt Marlander picking up the wrong driver. He's so used to Verstappen being the leading car that he picked up Verstappen while Norris was ahead.
Well, Will Joseph, Lando Norris' race engineer, actually came out and said, we thought for a minute there, Lando was going to be able to be a whole lap ahead because he was going to come all the way back round. So obviously not.
Which would have been really, really funny. It would have been really...
It would have been funny, but...
Would have kind of killed the...
It would have kind of killed the fact. Yeah, exactly. Are we ready for predictions?
I think we are. I think we've covered everything that needs to be talked about. I don't think we've missed anything.
Okie dokie. So, going off of last week...
Disappointing weekend a bit for George Russell. A bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
Russell.
Yeah.
I think the Mercedes probably was at home being around water anyway, so...
Yeah. Massive black and grey bug.
Yeah,
it should have been the fake harbour that they created at Miami.
I'd like Olly to create a jingle for every time we go into Predictions League. It doesn't have to be for this week, but going into him, I'd like when he does the trackside bit that takes to the next clip. I'd like there to be a Predictions League one.
If I can, I'll try.
Okay,
I'll have a look.
So, as I obviously mentioned from last week, I will now track. I mean, it's a lot more because obviously there's 4 race formats. We'll be going back to 2 for Imola. But I track where the points came from as well, rather than just saying how many we got.
So can we get a reminder real quick of what the scores currently are?
Oh.
So Ben, I know it. Ben was on 14 and us two were on 13, Will.
Okay, right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
It was, Ben. You were ahead. You were 1 point ahead last week.
It's 14.
I was on 15 and you were both on 14.
Ah, there we go. Same
There we
thing.
go. Okay, so what do you want? How do you want me to go about it? Do you want me to tell you what we got this week, or break it down first, then tell you what we got this week, then tell you the total?
Break it down first, and then tell us.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
First-
and try not to be a mathematician. Just let me get to the end.
Yeah, I'm not going to math it. I'm just going to let you cook.
Sprint qualifying, I scored 3 points. Ollie scored 2 points, and Will scored 1 point. I got Verstappen first, Leclerc second, Perez third. Ollie got Verstappen first, Leclerc second, Will got Verstappen first. Sprint race, we all got 1 point. Verstappen coming first. Qualifying, I got 1 point. Ollie and Will got 3 points. I got Verstappen first. We all got Verstappen first. Ollie got Leclerc second, Perez fourth. Will got Leclerc second, Sainz third. Now, in the race, I was the only person who scored a point because the penalty today that has been applied to Sainz, which puts him in fifth, means we all lost him having Sainz in fourth as a point.
Whoa,
Perez moves up to fourth.
Whoa, wait.
Well, Ben, Will, if that's actually what it says on the
Who came
official, if it says
Leclerc.
that in the official F1 app, then
Who came third? Leclerc.
Yeah.
Right, who came fourth? Perez.
Yeah.
Right, so my race predictions have got Leclerc and Perez in third and fourth.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, let me pull it. Let
On
me
the
pull it up right now.
graphic. It's literally on the graphic. I'm looking at it.
Race.
is that the race one, Will?
Yeah, race predictions. Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Norris. That's my prediction.
Wait, hang on.
Oh, this is... Look at this!
Leclerc. No, hang on. Right, hang on.
Oh, look at that!
Sainz finished fourth,
But his penalty took him down to fifth.
but his penalty took him down to fifth. Okay,
So
actually,
Perez
so Will does get a point there for fourth.
And
And he's
Leclerc
got
in
Leclerc
third?
Yeah, why did I not have that?
Oh, it's weird that, isn't it? That you do the stats.
I will listen. No, okay.
Oh!
No, I am gonna have to hold my hands up here. But I did admit to being very drunk last night while I was doing this. But it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. You are correct. So, yeah, I actually do apologise because I don't know why I've
I
got.
should hope so.
I don't know why I've got that wrong.
I'm the only one who scored a point when I'm staring at Leclerc and Perez in third and fourth. Have
Leclerc
a day off.
and Perez. Yeah, you did. You did put that. You're right.
What? I did, didn't I? Because you posted the graphic.
How very bizarre.
Oh,
So-
yeah. How bizarre. Huh.
Wait, Will, check mine at that as well. Did I get any or not?
No, you had Leclerc second, Perez. You had Leclerc, Perez.
Unfortunately,
Sainz
now
one.
you're going to question mine throughout the entire weekend. I promise you, they are all correct, but obviously, I just didn't get that one, which makes me look really bad. But you assigned me as this predictions leader, apparently. So
Well, actually,
we're
hold on.
allowed to make we're allowed to make one
I'm
mistake.
gonna have to check because now.
No, I definitely have got all the others right. I know that for a fact. I remember the sprint qualifying one. You messaged me saying how Hamilton, and then I was going to be like, I've got 3 points already from the off, but I didn't want to ruin it.
Yeah, but
I'm allowing myself this one mistake, but if this happens again, I'm going to deduct myself a point for every time it happens.
yeah,
But
yeah, you are.
but I'm allowed one mistake, which was today.
I'll let you off. But if I find out that there's been some,
It's because the four
tomfoolery-
formats catch me off guard. There's so many predictions to
If I
post.
find out there's been some tomfoolery, I swear to God.
Well, you have to think on sprint weekends. It's 60 predictions
Oh, well, however,
because it's 15 between us and then times 4. So
well, however will you cope? Right.
right.
What is the leaderboard, Ben?
So the updated lead.
Oh, it's left in.
So this weekend, then after my blips, and I apologise, I scored 6 points. Ollie scored 6 points. Will scored 7 points. So, in joint first with 21 is myself and Will, and Ollie has 20 in second. I was getting really excited to go 21 2019, and then there was 1 point between, and I thought, wow, that's amazing, but there you go. So, actually, predictions have been ruined this week. Absolutely ruined.
Would you look
What?
at
How did
that?
I don't understand how I've not. Do you know
understand.
what?
It's almost weird that you've added it up wrong, considering I would have been joint with you.
No, but see, if I want to win fair and square. I do not want to cheat. So that no, genuinely. I genuinely do want to win fair. So what have I done? Put a punishment in place if it happens again. So there you go. I genuinely think I would have had that. And then when I saw the science penalty, I think I've just, for whatever reason, I've just had I've had a blank. All right, we're allowed to make mistakes. So there we go. Ollie,
well, we've still got what, 16 rounds to go?
Yeah, and I'm already right there level with him. He can't handle it. He can't take it. Look at him.
Hang on a minute. I don't want to go off air until I've something.
Ben, it can't get much worse, can it? It can.
Right. I'm just gonna mute you. I can't. You've now been muted, Will. Right. You two have a conversation. I'm gonna do some more adding up. Just let me. Don't leave.
Look! It could all go out the window.
No, Will, let him do his thing.
I'm more than confident he can do his thing.
Reality is, Will, every single person is here for the downfall. So we need to make sure.
Yeah, that celebration last week, I'm very much here for the downfall. Basically, like Spurs celebrating a win over Sheffield in September. Like, you have pulled the trigger too early, my friend. Too soon, Junior.
Boys, have a conversation. I'm gonna put my mic down.
You won't stop yapping.
I'm just ripping into you.
Right. As I was saying in our group chat, I genuinely think in the new era of cars, this might actually have been like that's the thing I said this to my mum earlier as well. Like the racing as well this weekend was phenomenal. It wasn't just the fact of we've got a new winner, so it makes it good. The entire race itself, the racing was really good. Like the amount of wheel-to-wheel action we saw, the amount of overtakes we saw,
especially all the way down the grid, which brings me on to the next point. Do you agree with the points for potentially down to 12th and even the talk of potentially all the way down to 20th?
Yeah, I do. I think it should be down to 20th. I think unless you retire, it should be down to 20th.
Which then makes me think, what is the point scoring? Do you go 20-1? Do you do 25? Because 20-1 would make sense, because then you get 20. If you win and get fast up, you get 21.
Mm-hmm.
But does that then? I mean, to be fair, I think that would make the championship more interesting.
Championship closer.
Yeah, I was going to say, because then you could, if one person, say you got two title rivals going at each other, and one person 1 week gets 20, and the person comes second and gets 19.
Well, no, think of it this way: 20 season calendar. If they come first and second every week, same people come first and second every week in the same positions. The person in first will be on 20 times 20, 400 points by the end of the season. And then the person in second will be on 380 points. If the person in second then wins the final race of the season, the other person DNFs, equal by the final race of the season, by the end of the championship.
Okay, just
some of the most wins will win, but
I'm here.
Just coming back in here, I am going to have to do another Will Smith and apologise. 7 points, correct. They are confirmed. But I was going to say, in qualifying, if he'd got Norris and Perez switched round, he would have had the first double pointer.
Yeah, we said that, Ollie, if you remember.
Because Perez was fourth and Norris was fifth. So if he would have had, and he would have got 10 points.
That would have
been not.
I wouldn't have been showing up for today if that was the case.
You what? If any of us get that at any point this season,
just didn't earn.
Also, by the way, sorry, I do need to ask you this. I do need to ask both of you. What was your obsession with Alonso this week, and what did he do to show you that he was going to be good?
Weekend before, I just thought he carried them, but then again, he got shafted. He got shafted in the sprint, and then
he's just one of those dark horses. Yeah. I think.
It just depends. To be fair, I've got a bold shout. I might just throw Alonso into my top 5 for the older circuits on the calendar, just because. Like, I'll just put him fifth. Like when we go to Suzuka or something like, oh no, we've already been there.
Lagos.
Yeah, when we go Brazil or like Imola or something like that, or Monza, or Spa, I'm just going to put him fifth.
Well, I'm really looking forward to Imola in 2 weeks because obviously we didn't go there last year because of the floods. So we'll feel kind of new a little bit again. Do you know what I mean? It's not, so that would be nice. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Well, that's the predictions and fair play. Will, for correcting me. It's good to correct me because if we got to the end and realised it was wrong, that would have been bad. So thank you, actually. And the punishment is now in place.
Live, did you? You couldn't handle it, could you?
Well, that's not the case. I've accepted. I was in the wrong.
I think with predictions,
I actually am taking my wrongness as a champ here, unlike you, trying to dig your way out, going, well, actually, he didn't start at the front, so my point is still proven.
No, I held my hands up, but I back myself as well. I stand on what I said. I stand on it.
Stand on business.
Safety car won in the race anyway.
Anyone who said that.
Honestly, it's a joke. It's actually a joke.
The pace Norris had, he would have won even if there wasn't a safety car, I think.
Is that what my hair's look like this entire time? Jesus Christ.
Your hair's look like for the past.
I'm trying to let it grow back out again, but it's going to take a while.
You're getting a mohawk. You're developing a mohawk. Look straight down. That's a mohawk if I've ever seen one occurring.
I had one for like my year 4 disco or like year 2 disco, so I might bring it back.
You strike me as the type of guy who wore the flame shirt, mohawk, and mercurials.
Yeah, knee slide in the corner. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I lived up to every bit of it, as you should.
Got Capri Sun in one hand and sweets in the other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To be fair, I mean it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, to be fair. Back when times were set.
End of season trackside party.
Well, I mean, I'm saying
it's disco, Olly. Sorry.
Sorry, what? Sorry, what?
Yeah, all right. Leave that.
What do you mean?
Do it in Archview. The 3 of us get a flat, one of the other flats, one of our flats. Do it down the corridors of our Archview.
This is just getting weirder.
Yeah, you're digging, mate. You're digging. I was just suggesting going and actually, because like what happened at the go-karting was an Abu Dhabi 2021 if I've ever seen one. So I want to go back and,
I beat you lot fair and square.
No, you didn't. It's not fair that we had to race with people that cannot race.
Me and Ollie done well. We came first and second the entire session, mate. You were down in 7th.
If I had that track empty like I did with my flatmates when I went, I would have smoked both of you.
Oh.
It's not my fault I kept getting stop lines and bloody idiot that couldn't drive properly. Just parking it on the curb, man. Just literally parking it on my line.
You say that, but me and Ollie had to overtake
like Kevin Magnussen, 10-second penalties.
Me and Ollie had to overtake the same people and top the session first and second. You were down in 5th or 6th overall.
No.
Overall.
That's not true, actually.
Oh, was it lower?
Yeah. No. You got me there.
Right. I think that's a good place to end it. It's been a brilliant weekend to watch. I can't lie. It's probably been one of the most exciting race weekends we've seen in a long, long time. And it's Imola next, which always throws up a bit of a surprise.
I'm now off to Copenhagen, so let me catch my flight.
So, yes. Well, Ben, enjoy your...
I'm going to see K-Mag and discuss penalties.
But that is the end of episode 8?
7.
Episode 7 of the Trackside Podcast. Thank you all very much for listening, and we'll be back for another race weekend review for Imola.